What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Prince of YouTube PS Compulsion signing in here, aka Prince Anthony. And if you guys missed the last episode, you guys already know what I'm gonna say. Go back and check that episode out. Stop what you're doing right now, pause this video, save it for later, and go back to that last video because that last episode was low-key lit. Markelle Fultz had a Pistons record, 26 assists, but we're still 5-26 for this season. Let's go. So the tank continues on. Although we did get that W against the Atlanta Hawks, we are still currently the worst team in the NBA. So in terms of the simulation for this episode, I decided I'm going to simulate all the way to the All-Star break. But before I get to the All-Star break, I'm going to simulate to the trade deadline because there's still a few moves that I want to make for this squad. But before I get to that, guess what? We might possibly have two All-Stars hiding on our roster. Well, not hiding. Basically, the two best players on our squad, Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin, might be in the All-Star game. That's lit right there. Hopefully they make it in, but enough about that. It's time to start the simulation, and as soon as I start the simulation, my assistant GM let me know that Zubac wanted to speak to me about something, and guess what? He is ready to discuss a contract extension. Zubac wants to stay on the Detroit Pistons. Now, although he wants to re-sign and he's not expected to ask for much money, I want to keep our salary clear until the offseason, so I decided not to extend his contract right now. Don't worry, Zubac. Don't worry. Sometime in the near future, you are going to get that. But continuing the simulation, we beat the Wizards, so we got a W, and then we lost 2 games in a row, and then look at this BS. My trainer comes to me and lets me know that Markelle Fultz has a high right ankle sprain. He's gonna be out for 6 to 8 weeks. Oh my goodness. Look at that BS. And then straight after that, my team owner Lee Oliver came up to me and was like, bruh, I do not want Langston Galloway on our roster anymore. Cut him loose. I'm like, damn, you have to do him like that. My owner really don't want Langston Galloway on this squad. And then also, he don't want me to run any more promotions this season. I'm like, don't worry, bro. I got you. I'll get that done. So, continuing with the simulation, we're piling up on some L's, but we did manage to beat the Utah Jazz. Then after that, the Kings offered me a trade for Henry Ellison. I denied that. The Trailblazers offered me a trade. I denied that. Listen, I do the trades around here. Y'all don't do the trades. But check this out. A few days after telling me to cut Langston Galloway loose, my team owner was like, nah, forget about it. I'm like, why? I want him off the roster anyways. I just didn't get around to it. And then my team trainer told me that Langston Galloway has a day-to-day injury. I'm like, oh, okay, that's why. So now coming back to my office, like literally a day or two later, my team trainer tells me that Langston Galloway has healed from his injury. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to play around with this. I'm going to stop the simulation right now and trade Langston Galloway off this squad. I found a good trade for a young point guard in Juwan Evans. I was like, you know what? Why not? It gets rid of Langston's cap space and gets me back a good point guard that I could throw in the D-League and let him develop. So I did that trade. Welcome to the squad, Juwan Evans. Continuing with the simulation, I got a trade offer from the Utah Jazz for Zubac. I'm like, get out of my face with that. Don't disrespect me like that, bro. Don't ever disrespect me like that. So we beat the Jazz again. We beat the Orlando Magic. Then we beat the Miami Heat. We went on a brief 3-game winning streak. What are you guys doing? You guys are messing up the tank, bro. But then we went back to losing, which is great. But still, why do we have to sprinkle in a 3-game winning streak? I did not want to see that happen. Then we had a press conference. They asked me would I ever consider trading Blake Griffin. I said not a chance.
Why you always lying?
You guys know I'm lying. I am lying to the media. Blake Griffin is definitely getting traded sometime during the offseason. That's going to happen. The tank continues. We are starting to pile up them L's. I was going to say W's. I'm not trying to put that kind of negative energy into the air. But check this out. Andre Drummond wants a contract extension. So although we've been losing, a lot of my players still wants to re-sign with the Detroit Pistons. Do they know what they're signing up for? Do they really know what they're signing themselves up for? So I want to extend Andre Drummond, but for right now, I'm trying to not re-sign anybody, keep my cap space as low as possible heading into this offseason. Let's continue that simulation. I keep getting messages that some players want to talk to me about something, but I'm like, listen, just leave me alone right now. I'm simulating. But my phone continues to blow up, so I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead and check this out. What do they want? And look at this. Andre Drummond, Glenn Robinson, Reggie Butler, Kyrie Thomas. They are all upset with the way the team is playing, and they are concerned about our team record. You guys know what you guys are signing up for when you come play for the Detroit Pistons. I'm just saying. Then on top of that, some of those players want to resign as well. You guys don't know what you're getting yourselves into. But anyways, we have arrived safely to the trade deadline. There is one more move that I want to make. John Lure, he gots to go. So John Lure, I opened up that trade finder to see what I could find for him. CJ Miles, 1-year deal. Why not? Made the trade with the Toronto Raptors just to dump his salary. And I'm not even going to keep CJ Miles on the team anyways. But check this out. I made a horrible mistake. So, the Charlotte Hornets offered me a trade for Bismack Biyombo and a 2nd round pick if I give up Wilson Chandler. Now, the first mistake that I made was stopping the simulation to review the trade. And then when I tried to stop the trade, I didn't know how to do it, so I just continued with the simulation. I was going to simulate past the trade deadline, and I accidentally accepted the trade because the trade popped up. Look at that BS. Like, how can the first option be to accept the trade? Why would y'all do me like that? So I accidentally traded away Wilson Chandler for Bismack Biyombo and a 2nd round pick. Well, at least I get a 2nd round pick out of it. But then looking at our cap space, Bismack Biyombo has a player option on his contract, and so does CJ Miles. I didn't even realize that. I forgot to check that. So now 2 more people that I need to move in the offseason because they're most definitely going to opt into their contracts. That sucks. But anyways, continuing our simulation to the All-Star break, Markelle Fultz has healed from his injury, so he's finally back. That's good. At least he wasn't out for no length of time. So we won another 3 games in a row, defeating the Knicks twice and the Washington Wizards yet again. But before we got to the end of the simulation, of course, one more player had to get injured. Zubac gets injured yet again, and we took an L to the Boston Celtics, so that's good. At least we lost. But those many 3-game winning streaks that we had was really upsetting me, bro. Like, come on. We need to lose, not win. But now that we have arrived at the All-Star break, our roster is looking a little bit different. We have a couple new players in CJ Miles, Bismack Biyombo, and Jawan Evans. Bismack Biyombo and CJ Miles are definitely not staying on the squad. Maybe Bismack Biyombo if he could accept like a lower contract. But oh yeah, I forgot. He has a player option on his contract to opt into $17 million. So yeah, he's definitely not staying on the squad. So guess what? We are no longer the worst team in the NBA. That goes to the New York Knicks. They are 12-46. We are 15-41. But it does not matter because we are going to have both picks in the NBA draft. The picks that we traded to the New York Knicks as top 10 protected, and the first rounder that they gave to us. So we are definitely lit in the NBA draft. And check this out. Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond did make the All-Star team. Andre Drummond will be playing for Team Kawhi. Blake Griffin will be playing for Team LeBron. So they're playing on separate teams. That should still be lit though. I'm not gonna actually play through the All-Star game because in the next episode, I am gonna simulate to the end of this NBA season. The only reason why I simulated to the All-Star break is because I had a few moves that I wanted to make, and I was still looking at the roster and seeing what possible changes I can make. And it seems as though we made all the moves that we needed to make. There's still a few more moves we have to make during the offseason, like trading Blake Griffin, CJ Miles, and Bismack Biyombo. Besides that, our team is pretty much set. So in the next episode, like I said, we will be simulating to the end of the season. And in the next episode, you guys could look forward to seeing the NBA draft lottery. That is going to be lit. Are we going to get the #1 and #2 picks in the NBA draft? We gonna find out in that next episode. Make sure you guys tap the bell icon for notifications because you guys are not gonna want to miss this. Things are about to heat up and get even more lit. This is the Prince of YouTube signing out. Let's go Pistons. RJ Barrett, here we come. We about to be lit, bro. We really about to be lit. But anyways, let me stop this video right now. This is the Prince of YouTube signing out. Let's go Pistons.